Hey, how's it going? Adrienne Elise here. I thought I would just pop in and talk to you about what's going on in stars, the cosmos right now. Welcome to the Gaia Daily for January 25th through 29th. I'm Adrienne Elise. So what we have going on right now is that the main energy that I'm feeling and people are feeling seems to have to do with a rubber band type of effect, or maybe a strings being plucked. We've talked about we're still recovering from these intense eclipses, particularly this total that happened earlier this week. And we've talked about how Uranus has been in square to the nodes since September. And the nodes of the moon are about the future and the past. And it's like we're crucified between the past and the future. We cannot move forward because we cannot resolve the past. You can feel this gridlock, this energy, this resistance coming up against the manifested world that will not shift. And so a lot of people are feeling this right now, even though we have had the sun move into the sign of Aquarius, bringing a little lighter energy, but Mercury is still in Capricorn, but will be moving into Aquarius in the next few days. So we are moving into lighter energy, but we're still feeling this massive resistance of this encumbered feeling, this kind of coming up against a mountain, a wall, like things that just will not shift. And it's frustrating. And especially because there's a lot of energy out there right now. We have Mars at home in Aries. And Mars is like, let's go. Right? Let's get on with it. What is the problem? Like Mars just wants to force its way through the mountain, but it's coming up against a wall. Now we have Venus coming into it's been in conjunction here. It's with Jupiter. Now that means that Venus and Jupiter both are in square to Neptune. And we've been feeling this intensity of Jupiter square Neptune. It's like we want to enjoy this energy of Jupiter home in Sagittarius, but it's in square to Neptune, and Neptune is like so incredibly confused. And it's exactly the energy of this eclipse season, because the nodes, the energy of Uranus square the nodes, and what happens, why eclipses happen, is because the sun and the moon come into alignment with the nodes. So there's this lining up energy going on, and it's about timelines, and it's about the past and the future, and it's about moving through portals into more appropriate timelines. But it's like we're stuck in the birth canal, right? And what's happened is that these eclipses were like somebody plucking the strings of these multiple timelines that are all trying to get organized. And it's like, it's discordant, and we're still like reverberating, maybe feeling like we're bouncing up against, this physical reality is kind of the feeling, and it's kind of like getting knocked around. And so it's this frustrating juxtaposition of like Venus and Jupiter together is just like, let's go, let's party, let's expand, let's celebrate, and then, but in square to Neptune, it's like, well, wait a minute, what exactly are we celebrating? Is there anything to celebrate? Or just kind of a confusion, right? So Venus is all about, what do I really want? And then in conjunction with Jupiter, Jupiter's expanding that. But in square to Neptune, it's like, wait, is that what I want? Or was that what I wanted? Or wait, how do I let go of what I thought I wanted, which isn't really what I want? And this just impossible feeling about the physical world not adjusting to all of the work we've done energetically, right? And it's everything about this like Pluto-Uranus square that happened starting in 2011 through 2018. And it's about a revolution, a breakdown of the physical reality, this Pluto and Capricorn. Now we have been feeling this Pluto and Capricorn, and yet it's like this tension, because maybe things are breaking down, but there's this kind of programming and conformity energy that's holding a fabric of this old reality that we're still attached to in some way. Because it feels like if you let go of that fabric, you won't have anything at all. And it's this ego death, right? And it's like, how do we let go of what's not quite serving us when we don't have anything, when we're not feeling like anything's going to catch us, right? So many people are just feeling like nothing's changing. I'm waiting, I'm working, I'm doing all these things, and yet nothing is coming through. But maybe it is, but you are too attached to the old way. Pluto is doing a number on our physical constructs of belief systems and our reality and the structures of our reality. And as much as we're frustrated with the structures of our reality, they are holding our reality in place, and to make that leap from the old paradigm into the new paradigm, it's kind of where we're at right now. And so Venus and Jupiter want to make the leap, and Mars and Aries wants to make the leap, but Mercury's still in Capricorn. It's just about to shift into Aquarius. But we're still just so confused by this square to Neptune and recovering. Okay, the last 6 months of astrology has been so intense, and these eclipses on top of it was like the cherry on top. And so we've been plucked. Our strings have been plucked, and we're like going like this, right? And it's like the high wire, and it's like holding on with your little toes to some sort of semblance of reality. And it's like, well, maybe we should just let go. But it's not that easy. But this is what we're coming up against. But we really do need to figure out what we want, because we're starting to feel just today this Saturn Sextile Neptune. This is an energy that's going to be affecting all of 2019, but particularly this first half, this first section of 2019. These planets stay in very close in the sextile. And Saturn is our manifested reality, right? The ruler of Capricorn. And Neptune is, of course, this confusion energy, but it's also our dreams, our visions, our fantasies, our connection to source. And it's everything that we've been talking about with this Uranus moving into Taurus and grounding out into this material, physical world, the spiritual energies, the new spiritual energies. And it's, maybe that's part of the mind fuck that's going on right now. It's like, we thought it was going to be a certain way. Like, we thought we were going to be rising into new heights. And really we're like trying to force these spiritual energies into the physical world, and it just brings up feelings of impossibility. And it's almost like that's par for the course. If you feel like things are impossible and encumbered and heavy, you might be doing it right, because you're actually doing the work of infusing this physical reality with these energies. And maybe that's what it's about. Like, we are moving into, as we move into higher dimensional realities and higher dimensional energies, personally, individually, we all do this at our own pace, but we will feel lighter and freer and held by the universe. But maybe there's something karmically going on right now where our work is to infuse the physical. And so we are being brought way back down into reality and way back down into the physical in order to change it. So if that's the case, then we kind of need to sit tight and wait and to figure out what in the heck we're really doing. And, maybe all of this trying to get to a different place is actually keeping us from moving at all. So it's a really confusing time, and it's just going to kind of be like this. We do need to kind of get a grip and get a handle on what we want, and we don't know what we want maybe, and what we want is continually changing, and what we want might not be what's best for us. That's kind of the Saturn energy. But with the Saturn Sextile Neptune, it's a very magical combination of the physical manifested world and our dreams, right? And it's like, can we bring those dreams into reality? And as we try to do that, we're going to deal with all the trauma that's come up every time before in all our lifetimes when we've tried to do this and it hasn't happened. We have to deal with the impossibility. We have to deal with the obstruction. We have to deal with, wait, is that what I really want? Because this is the deal with Saturn. Like, Saturn is your true path in a way, but it's also obstructions to your path. And it can be kind of like the man, right? And standing in the way of you getting what you want. But a lot of times when you feel that energy, it's because what you want isn't what you actually want. Like, what you think you want isn't what you actually want. In your higher soul, Saturn represents the threshold to the higher worlds, to the outer planets. And so it's kind of like communicating to us in a very harsh way sometimes, like, that you're not on the right track, And so how do we sort all this stuff out, like the obstruction energies, the earthy energies, the coming, how hard is it supposed to be, right? Like, this is the question. And it's just such a crazy juxtaposition of Mars and Aries just is like, let me at it, let me get to it, let's go, let's do this, let's get into this new paradigm, right? And Venus and Jupiter are like, oh yeah, let's dream, let's party, let's go, and then, but in square to Neptune, it's like, but I'm so confused. Wait, what am I doing? I have to go backwards. I have to go sideways. I have to go the other way to try to figure out where I'm going, what I want to do. So the gist of this energy is that we are moving into, it's going to be until this new moon that happens on February 4th, and then Chinese New Year is February 5th, where we move into the year of the Earth Pig. And the Earth Pig is about abundance. It's about exactly that Uranus and Taurus energy. Like, it's about creating in the physical world the magic and abundance of physical wealth, and expansion of our physical reality and our physical possibilities. So it's really, really good energy for us right now. It's very, very appropriate. And so when that shift happens, so the new moon following eclipses, or the moon following the last eclipse, is really when the eclipse season kind of ends, right? And we know that eclipses affect us for 6 whole months. And so we're going to be kind of in and out of this confusion, but actually seeing possibilities and then seeing impossibilities and then adjustments and trying to get on our path, but not sure what we want. That's going to be we're going to be in that energy in and out as we move through these 6 months, but clarity will begin to come at Chinese New Year. That's when we really move in to the 2019 energies. And I'm seeing a ton of really magical shifting energies happening for people in March, and that's when the spring equinox is. So, it's only a couple more months where we're going to be kind of really dipping our toes into this new reality, but we're in the birth canal still, and it's really weird, and it's really stuck, and it's like, it feels like there's a whole host of energies, just kind of almost like an army, like blocking the way. And that might be true, but maybe we're not going quite the right way or in the right way. Maybe there's this opportunity for adjustment. And a lot of this adjustment that's going on right now for people on a deep core level has to do with your personal authority and whether or not there's some force out there that is more powerful than you that gets to say whether you get to go or whether you have to stay or whether you have to be in the lower energies or whether you can move to the higher energies, whether you can manifest your dreams or not. It's kind of like we've been given, we can see the kingdom and the world we want to create, and yet we don't have the key, And what is the key? The key is like the whatever from the past we have to heal and let go of, like maybe completely release from the clinging to the fabric of the old paradigm of who we thought we were, so that we can just you know, move into this new paradigm, but we're definitely in an in-between place, and that might be the energy in and out as we move through 2019. But at the same time, with the Saturn sextile Neptune, it's like possibilities are landing in this reality, not just our fantasies, right? But when you bring those dreams and fantasies into reality, you have to face whether or not they're the real reality you want, whether you can handle it, whether you're ready, whether that's really the right direction for you. And so thus the confusion we're in right now. So sit tight. We've got a couple more weeks, a week and a half or so, until this Chinese New Year, until this kind of breakthrough energy. And so I will be keeping in touch with you. We're moving into some intense energy as Mercury and the Sun come together in Aquarius, speaking to the Aquarian age next week, as well as Mars coming into a square with Pluto. So more on that in the next update. And I look forward to seeing you then. So until then, I'm Adrienne Elise. Namaste.